Welcome back, everyone. Moving on to our next session here on the main stage, then we are looking at the Google Workspace apps and how we can use them in our roles in L&D. I'm very aware that you're not here to speak to me, but just before I hand over, it's just a quick reminder: we have sessions going on the Zoho stage. All sessions are being recorded. Session recordings for today are mostly already up on YouTube, so you can catch up as soon as the live sessions are over, and indeed share those recordings with your friends, family, colleagues. Don't have to work in L&D, just make them watch them. They'll find them interesting, I'm sure. And if you'd like to support future events, please consider joining our Patreon for just £1 per month. Without further ado, let me hand you over to Carla, who will be running this session. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in our session this morning here in the Philippines. Now, before we start our session, I'd like to start with a question. So, have you ever found yourself struggling to manage multiple tools and application while trying to create engaging content for your learners? If this is you, then you are in the right session. Before we proceed, please feel free to share your thoughts. If you have questions, feel free to use the chat box. I'd like to get to know you more as we talk about Google Workspace for learning and development. So, this session will focus on using Google Workspace as and its different features and benefits to streamline your workflow, increase your productivity, and most importantly, create meaningful or design meaningful learning experiences for your audience. So, hello and welcome once again. My name is Carla, and please do not be bothered. Those are my cats playing in the background. I am an instructional designer and a Google for Education certified trainer. And for this session, I am very happy that I get the opportunity to share with you Google Workspace and its benefits for learning and development professionals like ourselves. Now, just a brief introduction. Um, I'm a fur mom of two cats, as you can see in the background. One of them is currently sleeping. Um, I've also had the pleasure to work as a former teacher where I taught entrepreneurship, empowerment technology, or ICT for some, practical arts, and marketing. So, my passion for teaching has eventually driven me to explore different avenues in the field of education, which is why I have decided to become a Google certified educator and eventually a certified trainer. I have always been excited to integrate technology into teaching and learning. My goal is to eventually help other users to make the most out of the different digital tools to improve not just student engagement but of course the successes of our learners. This is also one of the reasons why I have decided to set up my own website at techwithcarla.com, because I want to be able to share the different educational tools such as the ones found in Google Workspace to my fellow Filipino teachers. So all of these led me to becoming a corporate instructional designer. Now, going back to our original topic, just to provide you with a quick overview of what Google Workspace is. It is a set of cloud based productivity and collaboration tools designed to help users like us, learning and development professionals, to collaborate real time, share files easily, take advantage of the cloud storage, and even access all of these tools from any devices. Um, Google Workspace also offers us a range of tools, including the most commonly used ones, such as Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, that allows for us to easily collaborate and share files with other users. But apart from that, Google Workspace also provides accessibility to its users, primarily because it's a cloud based set of tools, meaning you can access all of these tools from any devices as long as you're connected to the internet. So this flexibility allows L&D professionals to stay connected with not just other team members, but also with our learners. So even when we are not in the same physical location with them. So Google Workspace allows us to work smarter and stay connected. So with just one single platform. So that is the reason why I am sharing with you the different uses of the tools within Google Workspace. Now, just to properly set your expectations, we are going to talk about seven tools during this session. These are Google Forms, Google Sheets, Jamboard, Slides, Sites, Google Keep, and Google Classroom. But apart from those seven tools, we will also be talking about two additional tools also from Google, and these are Google Maps and Google Earth. So our goal is to make these tools something that L&D professionals can also consider when it comes to designing instructional materials and designing the learning experiences of our training participants or learners in general. Now, let's briefly talk about the different benefits of using Google Workspace for L&D. So apart from it offering us a wide range of benefits in creating engaging and effective instructional materials and training sessions for our learners, there are other key benefits that I'd like to take note of for this session. So personally, when I was still transitioning from teaching to L&D, it was really a struggle for me to look for a tool that is both accessible and affordable, which is why I have decided to share these set of tools to help other L&D professionals and those who aspire to eventually transition to L&D to use these tools in order for them to successfully transition also, not just in ID, but maybe you want to be a learning experience designer. These tools can also be helpful. I initially listed four benefits, but if you have any ideas on how we can further make the most out of the different tools that we will be talking about, please feel free to share your ideas in our chat box. This will surely help our fellow L&D professionals gather ideas and different perspectives that they can eventually use in designing their own materials or creating their own training programs. Now, first that I'd like to take note is that Google Workspace promotes collaboration by allowing multiple team members to work on the same file real time. So as I mentioned earlier, because these are cloud-based productivity and collaboration tools, any user with an internet connection can have access to the files that you are going to share with them. This ensures that all team members have access to the most updated version of the file, eliminating also the need for long email transcript from different users. So at the same time, this allows you to provide real-time feedback and suggestions as you create the material. So the feature not just only promotes collaboration, but of course teamwork and helps L&D professionals like ourselves work together more efficiently and eventually save time. Now, the second benefit that I want to share with you is, of course, about being organized, organization in general. So, we all know that as L&D professionals, we work with different files. We create a lot of materials. So with the cloud-based storage, all files can be stored in one central location, making it easier for us to access all of these files from anywhere and share them privately or securely with other users, even with your learners. Now, the third benefit of using Google Workspace when it comes to learning and development is accessibility. So, in relation to organization and collaboration, Being able to access your files and collaborate on them from anywhere with internet connection makes it easier for us to be connected and up to date with the latest developments in the projects that we are creating or in the programs that we are currently planning. Lastly, we I would also like to share with you the benefit of interactivity when it comes to using Google Workspace. Now, there are different tools that you can use if you want to create interactive or engage your learners in general. Google Workspace promotes interactivity, which is essential for creating these experiences with tools such as the ones that we are going to talk about today, such as slides and Jamboard. We can create interactive presentations and ideate collaboratively with not just our team members but also with our learners. So this encourages learners to be more engaged with the learning process and help them make learning more enjoyable and um, eventually that will eventually lead to the success or the attainment of the objectives of the program. Now let's start with the different tools. So we will be talking about first with the about the first seven Google Workspace applications within Google for learning and development that is within Google Workspace. Now, the first tool that I want to share with you is Google Forms. So, we all know that Google Forms is a powerful tool that we can use in creating surveys and forms to gather different information from our stakeholders, including our learners or even our subject matter experts. With Google Forms, we can create and distribute our needs analysis survey to be able to identify what the learning needs are prior to designing the program or the session. And then eventually the data that you collected can be used to can be of great help when it comes to designing these sessions. So once you are done with let's say for example needs analysis, then you can also use Google Forms when it comes to creating and sharing evaluation forms to gather feedback from your learners and even from your stakeholders. So what I personally like about Google Forms is that it offers a wide range of question types for its users. So this allows me and of course other users to create a diverse set of surveys or forms in general. So you can even create matching type question for a survey using Google Forms. So I think this is one of the great things when it comes to using Google Forms. It allows customization for its users, therefore leading to more engagement when it comes to using Google Forms. Now, the next tool that we will be talking about is Google Sheets. Now, when you are done collecting your data from using Google Forms, you can analyze this using Google Sheets. But apart from that, Google Sheet is also an excellent tool for organization and project management in general. So we can use Google Sheets to create a project charter that outlines the scope, objectives, the requirements, deliverable, and even the timelines of the project. So this provides each member of the team a clear understanding of what needs to be accomplished and helps keep everyone on the same page because basically they can just access the sheets anytime, anywhere using any of the devices that they have. So apart from that, Google Sheets also allows collaboration because it's a cloud-based tool. Multiple team members can access and edit the document real time and simultaneously. Now, as I mentioned earlier, using Google Forms, you can create survey, but with Google Sheets, you can analyze these the data that you have gathered from these surveys. So, since Google Forms and Sheets are already integrated with each other, Google Sheets can also be used in creating the summary of your data from your needs analysis. Sheets can also create different charts in relation to these data when there's a need for it. Um, and there are also other functions or formulas that you can easily use to be able to um, to analyze all the data that you have previously gathered using your survey or form from Google Forms. So that is the second tool that we have. Now let's proceed to the next one. Google Classroom is another form of a learning management system that is used in some schools here in the Philippines. But this can also be used by instructional designers to not just develop, but also manage and deliver effective courses. Now, what I like about Google Classroom is that it has a very user friendly interface and powerful features. Google Classroom provides us with tools that we need in order for us to support not just our team members, but also our learners. Well, especially our learners. Now, another key feature when it comes to using Google Classroom is that it is already integrated with other applications such as Google Calendar, Google Drive, and Google Meet. So using just one tool, you can already access different files, even set up a conference or a virtual meeting, all within Google Classroom. But apart from those, you can also create assessment tools within Google Classroom. So this allows instructors to not just monitor but evaluate also the learners' progress throughout the course. Um, Another benefit of using Google Classroom is that it allows the users to easily communicate with each other. Now, in Google Classroom, instructors or trainers can send announcement, provide feedback and messages to their students all in one platform. So if you're looking for a tool that perhaps will allow you to develop, manage, and deliver courses, and if you have yet to explore other elements, then perhaps Google Classroom is something that you can initially explore if it suits your needs. The next tool is Google Sites. So this is my personal favorite because it allows different users to create a free website within Google Workspace. So one popular use of Google Sites is, of course, for creating a personal portfolio to showcase your work as an L&D professional. You can also share your accomplishments to your potential employers if you're looking for a corporate or academic ID job. But personally, before I applied for a corporate ID job, I used Google Sites to just basically compile all previews and sample works that my hiring manager can easily access. And this has been one of the best decisions I've had in transitioning to ID because it eventually helped me get the post. If you're looking for a free website creation tool, then Google Sites is something that you can definitely explore. But apart from creating a website, Google Sites can also be used for project management. So providing a central location for all team members to collaborate, share files, and track progress. And just like the previous tools that we have talked about earlier, Google Sites also allows its users to access the same file simultaneously and provide feedback as you complete the project. Um, what I like about Google Sites is that it also has a very user friendly interface. It also allows users to customize the website or the portfolio that you are creating depending on your preferences. But additionally, what's good about Google Sites is that it is already integrated seamlessly with other Google tools such as Google Drive, Docs, Sheets, and even YouTube. yes, you can add your own video directly from YouTube to your Google site without having the need to download it or to store it in your um, Google Drive. Um, well, if you are if this is something that you want to explore and all these flexibility and customization options is something that interests you, then I highly suggest that you try out creating your own portfolio or even a resource page using Google Sites. After all, this is a free tool for all Google users. Then the next tool that we have is Google Jamboard. So this is a digital whiteboard available for all Google users. So what's good about Google Jamboard is that it allows its users to perform different tasks. So perhaps you want to use the digital whiteboard for brainstorming. Jamboard is an excellent tool for that. You can easily collaborate with each other by using sticky notes, images, and even drawings. Participants can also guide their ideas and freely move it within the platform or group them accordingly. Another use of Google Jamboard for L&D professionals is when we conduct concept mapping or mind mapping. You can also use Jamboard for that. But when it comes to training sessions, Google Jamboard is also good for creating interactive quizzes. So you can create a board with questions and answers and ask the learners to select the correct answers by drawing a line to the correct option. There are other things that you can use or do with Google Jamboard apart from that example. Google Jamboard is also good for visual learning. So you can use the different images and icons or graphics within the platform. And what's good about Jamboard is that it is already integrated with your Google Drive and even Google Images. So you can just simply search for the image that you want to include in your board and then select it, and then it will automatically be uploaded in your Jamboard. Now, last use of Jamboard that I have listed is about group activities. So, for instance, you can create a board with jigsaw puzzles and divide the learners into groups, then ask each group to work on a specific area within the jigsaw puzzle, and then collaborate with other groups to eventually complete the task. There are many ways that we can use Google Jamboard, and this is something that I highly suggest to be used in training sessions and especially when it comes to sessions with younger learners. I am pretty sure they will enjoy this because adult learners also enjoy using Jamboard. Now, the next tool that we will be talking about is Google Keep. So Google Keep is a note-taking app that L&D professionals can use to not just brainstorm, visualize, but organize and collaborate with their projects. So what's good about Google Keep is that it allows instructional designers and L&D professionals in general to keep track of your research. Perhaps you're conducting your research and scoping. You can use Google Keep to store all your notes all in one place and access it easily using any of the devices that you have. But apart from organizing and keeping your notes, Google Keep is also good for project management. You can create to-do lists, reminders and notifications, and share it with other team members or even with your learners. All you have to do is to just make sure to properly set the privacy settings of these files so that you can make sure that these files remain private and will only be shared to your intended audience. Apart from that, Google Keep also allows collaboration because each team member or user um, using the same file can easily add items to the to-do list. They can also cross out the items that are already finished or completed. Now, if you're looking for a tool that will allow you to streamline your project management processes, stay organized, and collaborate with others, then Google Keep is one of the tools that you should definitely consider using. So, again, all of the tools that we have talked about so far are free and all within Google Workspace. Now, for the next tool, we have Google Slides. So Google Slides is another amazing tool that we can use when it comes to creating and designing presentations. But apart from that, you can also embed or integrate videos and images from Google Images or videos directly from YouTube to your presentation. So eliminating the need for you to download any additional files that may lead to a more disorganized folder or any of the devices that you're using. So another good thing about Google Slides is that it is also a great tool when it comes to facilitating online workshops because you can already share your presentation to Google Meet from or within Google Slides. So if you have a if you're opening your Google Slides right now, you can see the icon of Google Meet at the upper right corner of your screen. By clicking that, it allows you to directly share your presentation to your audience in Google Meet. But apart from those, we can also use Google Slides when it comes to creating interactive or e-learning modules that requires different multimedia elements or interactive activities because when you are using Google Slides you also have access to the different third party applications that can be used when it comes to presenting these e-learning modules. So there you can use the third-party applications that allows you to engage your learners by conducting quick polls or Q&A all within one tool. Now, if you're another tool or another use of Google Slides is of course by creating job aids and quick reference guide for L&D professionals like ourselves. So you can also use Google Slides for that. Now, those are the 7 tools within Google Workspace. But before we end our session, I'd like to share 2 more tools. These are not included in Google Workspace, but these are also created by Google. So the first one is Google Maps. So we all know that we use Google Maps to locate a particular place, a landmark, but Google Maps can also be used for geolocation based learning. So let's say for example you're teaching about culture or perhaps languages. Google Maps is a powerful tool for you to support these learning topics or concepts. So you can create virtual tours or scavenger hunts that will allow your learners to explore specific locations and learn about the location's history, culture, and other relevant information. So what's good about Google Maps is that you can easily create your own map and integrate it in your training sessions. The last tool is another favorite. We have Google Earth for interactive learning. So, in when it comes to using Google Earth, you can use this to provide learners with a unique perspective of the world, allowing them to explore different regions, countries, landmarks, and even ecosystems. So, for instance, L&D professionals can use Google Earth to create virtual field trips that transport learners to different parts of the world, expose them to cultures, languages, and different environments that will provide them with a better understanding of the world. Now, apart from that, Google Earth can also be used for data visualization. So these are just some of the many uses of Google Earth and Google Maps and Google Workspace in general. But to end this session, and just to summarize everything, these are the key benefits of using Google Workspace, and this is all. These are also the reasons why I have decided to share this topic with you during my session. These are cloud-based storage, allows you cloud-based storage and access, has flexibility, provides you a venue to collaborate and facilitate learning, and at the same time, it's seamless integration with other Google tools and third party applications. But that is it for my presentation. Thank you so much for joining me in this session. I Back to you, Tom.
No, that was brilliant. Thank you ever so much for sharing that. There's so much in there for us to for us all to take away, which is great. Loads of really useful tools that we can use. Some stuff in my Google account. I had to go, do I have that? And yes, turns out I do. There we go. Fantastic. So I can start using some new tools. We are right up against time. So thank you so much for presenting. Thank you, everyone who is in the audience. Really appreciate your engagement, your involvement, and you being here. Our next session starts in just 15 minutes here on the main stage, and it is Joey Senat with Emotional Investment, What Being a Gamer Taught Me About L&D. I hope you all have your D20s at the ready. I'm sure Joey's got some interesting stuff for us. And in half an hour over on the Zoho stage, we have the power of a consultative approach kicking off. Oh, no, sorry, that's kicking off right now. What am I talking about? Half an hour. It's literally starting now. So once again, thank you all. And until the next session, we'll see you later.